Greetings, everyone. Thank you for joining me on Turning a Moment into a Movement. I am your host, J Love. Thank you for joining us. And I represent the Justice for Gerard movement. Gerard is my son who was wrongfully convicted of a crime that he didn't do. Innocent, and he went to prison. Had no knowledge of the crime, didn't know anything about the crime, but he still ended up going to prison for a crime that he didn't do. Served 2 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections for that crime. Came home in 2021, and he recently passed away. And so, because of that journey with Gerard, we birthed this movement, turning a moment into a movement where we come on and speak on wrongful convictions and injustice, and how to motivate and educate our community about wrongful convictions. And so, thank you for joining us today, and welcome. So, today we're going to talk about where our title is Sentenced to Death by Neglect. And we're going to talk with the panel and with our guests about the conditions within the Michigan Department of Corrections and all over the United States, prisons all over the United States, that people are dying in these places. And Michigan doesn't have a death sentence, but some people are given a death sentence. Even through COVID, people died inside. And so we're going to have a conversation. This conversation rings near and close to me because while Gerard was incarcerated, I myself had to advocate and fight for health care for him. If you know about his story, he had severe Crohn's disease. And so, to the point where he had to have infusions every month, and that was a fight. And so, we're going to talk about that today. But before we get started, we're going to bring in the panel. And first, we're going to bring in, hey, Ravitia. Ravitia, you muted.
Yeah. Good evening, and how are you?
Hi.
I am so excited to be here, Jay. This is I almost have to fight tears just listening to you and um feeling the pain, feeling the push
Mm-hmm.
to move on in spite of everything you've been through. And the cause is still, it's necessary. It's necessary for us to continue to come on to educate and to help people understand what we need to do as citizens
Yeah.
to to make transformation in our own communities. So along with being the founder of the choice zone, where I am help empower people to get in their choice. Your purpose is my purpose, and I believe that we are all purposed together for a reason. Also, I am so pleased to be a part of on the executive board for Michigan Coalition for Human Rights, and and along with other social justice networks, but along with in the community on a daily basis, being a behaviorist. I do behavioral intervention uh, and working with students and doing groups and things like that in the community. I believe that the behavior needs to be changed at elevated levels in leadership in our communities. There's a behavioral condition that people have been utilizing ever since the inception of the United States of America. And this behavior is woven into our every system, and it's called racism
Mm-hmm.
and dehumanization.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm so glad to be here this evening. I'm excited to hear from our guests and knowing that we are definitely making a difference with what we're doing and what we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ravitia. So, welcome back, Trisha. You muted too.
Look, oh my goodness, what's up tonight? I am so excited to be back. It's been a while, but I've been watching and just seeing the continuation of the education of our community. And so, thank you so much, Jay, for just answering the call and continuing to do this very, very necessary work. We salute you always, and we take a moment and salute fallen warrior, risen spirit, Gerard, on this day as well. Um, when I think about this topic tonight, it's one that it is so rampant throughout the Michigan Department of Corrections and across this country. And it's one that I can't understand how we can claim to be so into humanity and not care about folks that are medically frail, that are dying because of neglect. I can't wrap my mind around it. And so I am grateful for the guests that are going to be here with us tonight, the loving guests that are going to be here tonight, that are going to share. And we are uplifting them in prayer, because I understand that this is so hard for families to talk about. But I salute all families who stand on the side of righteousness, even through the pain. And so thank you, Jay, for just always making this platform available to uplift. I love you.
I love you too, Trisha.
And I love you, Reverend Tia.
Love you. So glad to see you back. I see you all the time, though. I see you doing what you're supposed to
Right.
do.
Before we bring on Attorney Hugo Mack, I want to send love to Shawana.
Yes.
If Shawana is listening, we love you, Shawana. Please get well soon. Actually, she is on the road to recovery. So, yes.
Yeah, let me tell you how much on the road to recovery she is. I'm gonna put her little tail on blast too, because I got a message from her today. Call me, and I was like, and I had just talked to her earlier, and she's sending out cash apps for the summit. Just wanted to make sure that we have donations for everything that we need for the summit. I said, this lady is laying up here and had just a terrible time, but she is still on the front line, still making sure that the needs are being met. That's what I'm telling. I wish somebody would say something about my sister and me. Because I'm gonna tell you something, that right there is a true warrior.
Yes,
that right there goes to the trenches and goes in places that some of us would never even think about going. So Shawana, we salute you, sis. We love you.
Yes.
And we thank God that you are on the mend.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. We was talking business while I was there with her. So yes.
You know, and only Shawana still goes in the neighborhood. So she wants to see, what else do you need?
Mm-hmm.
She didn't just go to the family, she went to the whole neighborhood. What else is needed in the community?
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you, she got it there.
Yeah, she did.
And I mean, such a powerful spirit.
Yeah.
Shawana, girl, my shero. Yeah, Trisha.
Yes. And also, I wanted everyone, hello on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, hi, Spotify. And those who are going to listen later on or doing this, hello, we welcome you. Now we're going to bring in Tony Hugo Matt. Hey.
Hey, brother.
Hello, everyone. God bless you. Hey, look, can you hear me?
Yes, Attorney Matt.
Well, see, now, you don't got me programmed, J Love. I always got to ask, because so many times, it's been, Attorney Mac, we can't hear you, and so I've had my system checked about 20 times. I still don't know why it's me, so, but look, it's all good. I'm in my mobile office right now, also known as the Ford Fusion, working my way back to, and note to say, I'm not driving. Yeah, right. So but I just want to say this really touches my heart, this topic, because I know what it's like on many fronts to pay a debt that's not owed. I know what it's like to be stigmatized because of that debt. And I know what it's like to see people who pay a special debt in the penitentiary, those people with physical and mental challenges, because believe me, they get zero consideration. Zero, all right? Other than maybe warehousing. I've told y'all the story many times. Every penitentiary I've been in, they've got med lines, and they've got people getting cups with water and medication and walking the track almost like zombies. I hate to say it. I hate in curing mental illness, mental challenge. you are being deceived. You're wrong. They are not. They're interested in warehousing you and you not causing problems. And the more they can dope you up, the more they can medicate you up, the better it is for them. And that's just a simple truth. So there we are.
Yes, Attorney Mac. I was trying to get you to, you're on Mac Street. I thought you was
Oh,
going to
oh yeah. You know what? Thank you so much, because I don't want y'all to think I'm boasting. But let me say this now, a shameless plug. If you got your hoopity on Jail and Bale Street, drive that hoopity to Mac Street and park it. HMAC Law is your hookup. HMAClaw.com is your hookup. HMAClaw.com is your hookup. And I love you.
I love you too, Attorney Mac.
That sounds like a good old jingle. You need to go on and lay that down.
Amen.
Yes, Attorney Mac. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're gonna go ahead into our show. I wanted to bring in a few points for today before we get started. In May of 2020, Governor Gretchen Whitmer signed House Bill 4129 to 4132, which passed with overwhelmingly bipartisan support to allow Michigan Department of Corrections to parole seriously ill and medically frail prisoners so they can attain care at medical facilities or nursing homes instead of prisons facilities, saving the taxpayers dollars and on the cost of care. So you see that? We got that, right? Okay, now we're gonna bring in our guests. Greetings. Can you guys hear us? You can't hear. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna say we're gonna take you guys back out and then come back in. Okay, so we're gonna take them out and then we're gonna have them turn off their device and then come back in. So, Rabatia.
Yes, and we brought up that executive order before.
Right, go ahead, Rabatia. Why I work with
We brought up that executive order before, and since its inception, what people need to realize is sometimes, many times, when they're signing an executive order, they're signing a document, and we need to be aware of what I term as paper pushing. And that's we are involved in in a society that is used to paper pushing. Everything has come into play because of a document, because of a law, because of just think about it. The Native Americans were here on this land, and all of a sudden, because somebody else came in and say, according to the king, according to the England, this law is in, and it's something that they created, and then all of a sudden, here we have the Native Americans being pushed off of their property because of a law that they had nothing to do with. So here now we fast forward, we sign a law or an executive order. It's supposed to do something. It does nothing.
Right. So when I've been studying this bill and I've been researching to see exactly how many people have the governor commuted their sentence that was medically frail, I couldn't find one.
Not a single
Not one.
I
Not
have
a
not
single
found.
one.
So introduce
Not a
yourself.
one.
What? Not one. Introduce yourself, our guest for today.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, guys. My name is Tequila.
Marseille. Teresa
Marseille.
Dunlap's son serving life in Huron Valley.
Yes. So Teresa Dunlap, this is her, you guys. She's serving life in Huron Valley. And before I even met you guys, I posted about her story maybe a couple of weeks when I first saw it because just I was distraught when I read it about how they allowed mold to grow in her chemo port and that she's
Shackled
was
to the bed.
yes, shackled to the bed. And this was Michigan. This wasn't in a third world country or nowhere out of the United States. This is right here in Michigan. So tell us about, your mom's story.
Well, my mom, my mother-in-law, she has been in prison for 46 years, and now she has stage 4 brain, lung, and bone cancer. Just recently, about a month ago, they literally just started giving her narcos and morphine. Before that, they were only giving her Tylenol 4s and gabapentin for her pain with stage 4, bone, lung, and brain cancer. She has been a bright, shining star to a lot of ladies in the facility.
Mm-hmm.
She's helped a lot of ladies. Um, she's basically rebirthed a lot of women because they came in young, like she went in young,
Mm-hmm.
and they're able to come out and live in society and be productive and go on living a normal life. As for her, they're not letting her come out and be with her family. We want her, we need her home. Whether she's sick, frail, we still want her home with us.
Mm-hmm.
As far as when she goes to the hospital, she's frail. She has stage 4 cancer. She is shackled from hands to feet. She is literally restrained to the bed. There's nothing that she can do to anyone. She can't barely hold her head up now, but they're still treating her in the most horrific way that you could ever have for a human being to be treated. And all we want is to have her home, to give her some love. She's given Michigan Department of Correction 46 years of her life. And we would take a minute, we would take a second, an hour. We don't care. We just want her home so that she can get some kind of peace in knowing that she is 100% loved behind those walls,
Mm-hmm.
out of that facility, because the care that they give her, she can't even get the appropriate fruits, vegetables, protein. The care is there's no bleach in there. There's no anything to keep it sanitized
Mm-hmm.
for them. She's not the only one, but the way they act like it's just, hey, it's a job and this is what we're going to do. And she's here and we don't want her outside. We want to keep her in here. No matter if she's frail, can barely hold her head up. She can't even walk. She's had infections in her legs, where literally pus is running out during a visit. And she's leaking while we're sitting having a visit. Or it's they've left the bandages on too long to where for them to get it off is pulling her skin off now because they're not giving her the appropriate care that she needs. She's a human being at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she has, I think she has paid more than her debt to society. I mean, if you revive someone 4 times and still say, hey, I still need more years off of you, I still need more time off of you, there's no compassion. There's no humility, because everyone deserves to be treated as a human being.
Yes.
They treat animals better than they're treating the inmates
Mm-hmm.
in Michigan Department Corrections facilities.
Huron Valley.
And Lake Huron Valley is just a cesspool of just chaos and just ruckus. If you can treat a pet, a dog, a cat with better compassion than you can a human being, that says a lot about Michigan Department of Correctional Facilities.
Yes.
With watching her going there to try and visit her and then being turned away, sometimes coming all the way from Georgia, and they're saying, oh, she's not there. And then when we speak to her, she's like, I was in the building. That frustrates you. And especially when there's really nothing that you can do, because as they say, she belongs to them.
Mm-hmm.
And we really just want her home with us. Because at the end of the day, she belongs to us. We are her loved one. She gave birth to her only son.
Oh, peace.
And we just want to be able to hug her every day, kiss her, until the good Lord decides he wants to take her home.
Well, ladies, I'll tell you that my mother not doing so good. Her chances of making it out of there, they very slim. You know, that's bad to say, because I waited on her for 46 years. And that's what the end is right here. So I really just want her to be able to get some peace in her mind and her life. For even though she murdered and did the things that she did, she wasn't innocent. They didn't have the wrong person. It was her. But she gave those women of Huron Valley and Huron Valley her life on a positive note. She changed a lot of women's lives and supported them, even though she knew she was never possibly being able to go home. There's so many women out here that love her and give their life to her for being there for her. So she deserves to go out, at least with her family. There's no doubt about it. She's gonna die. She's dying. Last time I went and seen her, she couldn't even hold her head up. She had a neck bracelet on, and they had her on morphine 30s. You know.
She could hardly even recognize us when we went to go and see her Saturday. We are going to go and visit her. We tried to go visit her this Wednesday. Our visiting days are Wednesdays and Saturdays. When we got there Wednesday, they said she was gone. So she was already in the hospital. Yet again, we will be there tomorrow to try and see her again. And we're just praying that tomorrow may be a little bit better for us, that she will know who we are. Like my husband said, she had a neck brace on when we went to see her. She couldn't hold her head up. She couldn't drink on her own. We had to feed her. We had to feed her. So she's declining.
I just want the women of Huron Valley that bumped into my mother to know she loves you and she cared. You know, it is what it is. What's gonna happen, you know. But we want to make sure this don't happen to nobody else. If we can possibly do that.
We definitely need to get some better health care in the facility. We definitely need to get better things.
You see that?
We need to get better things on the menu as far as to be able to give them the nourishment and the
The
medication that
support,
they need.
the support structure outside the world. They had a prison so closed up, you don't know what's going on. Ain't not one time that she been resuscitated or that she went to the hospital and wasn't gonna make it. Did they call us and say it's a problem or your mom not doing so well? Wow,
We did not know until after she got out of the hospital that they had resuscitated her. They've resuscitated her 4 times since December. And we didn't know anything. Just like she was just in the hospital. We didn't know. We call, and there's nothing that they tell us, oh, well, you guys have to wait until we get a release from such and such doctor. We have power of attorneys.
So let me tell you this. Women need special needs. We all know that. Women have different issues that men have and different issues than society. From your period to a whole lot of things that's going on. And those aren't the things that they're worried about, and they're about those women. During the coronavirus, they didn't care to check anybody and give them their normal physical, give them their normal pap smear and this and that. As long as they didn't have the coronavirus, stay the hell away from her. So my mother had cancer probably for 2 years before they even recognized it because they wasn't given the proper care. You know?
Yes.
Well, she thought she had a hamstring and she went in to get the hamstring checked and they was tumors. And they was already where they was at because of coronavirus. And don't get me wrong. Okay, we give or take a, that was more serious than anything that everybody went through in life. But still, women have special needs because they are the mothers of the earth and they need to be checked and have physicals, whether they're in jail or out here. They're not animals.
Right.
They should be treated a certain type of way anywhere that they're at. And they didn't do that. They neglected her and a whole lot of other women.
Yes, I have a video that I'm going to play shortly about someone else that's in Michigan Department of Correction. I just want women. And for those who might be listening, Huron Valley is the only facility for women in Michigan. There's no other facility, so everyone is in this one facility. And I can agree with you about the neglect in the healthcare system. They just recently, I think last year, they gave a contract to WellPath, $590 million to for healthcare services for the Michigan Department of Corrections, and still the same thing. And before that, the other company that I am familiar with that I was, had to go toe to toe with because of my son who has Crohn's disease, who needs a special diet. He couldn't get a special diet. So he was eating, he had to eat something. So mostly carbs, he has to have infusions. Some days he would miss, he would call me and he said they didn't take me today. So I would call Lansing to find out why they didn't take him. So Lansing has to call the facility. They say he didn't go. What do you mean he didn't go? You didn't take him.
Right.
When I talked to him, I said, they said you didn't go. He said, Ma, how can I refuse to go anywhere? Exactly. So if the family is not on them all the time, I feel sorry for those who don't have family. That's, who can be on them all the time because they're very neglectful. If it wasn't for me getting in contact with the Rashida Tlaib and having her office help me to help Gerard, who knows what happened? He lost 40 pounds. They lost his medical records as soon as he got there. They was giving him Tums for something he needed an infusion for. Unbelievable. So I know personally about how they treat the prisoners inside of there. So inhumane. The food is inhumane. Everything about it is inhumane. Attorney Matt?
Well, it breaks my heart to hear this. It really does. But far too often, and part of the problem is us in our own community. Because I remember when Jennifer Granholm was the governor, there was a movement to try to have people be released into like community correction centers, like halfway houses, and there was such a backlash from the people in Detroit about not wanting those people, us, in the neighborhood. And it's the same thing in terms of places to release people with hospice care and mental health. Part of the problem that we as Black people have, we have been so programmed. We are more American than anybody else in this country. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Because we ascribe and strive so much for what other people say America is, and we get nothing, but we still keep trying to associate with people, not only who don't look like us, but spiritually are just the opposite of us. So in other words, what I'm saying is, you see time and time and time again, I'm going to get off my soapbox in a minute, where you have an issue. For example, the United States Supreme Court, a prime example. Do you know who the most conservative justice is on the Supreme Court? A man black as a mailbox, you understand? Championing the cause for eliminating civil rights, championing the cause for eliminating women's rights, championing the cause for eliminating defendants' rights. And so, we become so Americanized, and it's almost as if we have to prove ourselves to be more right-wing than the most right-wing virulent racist. You see what I'm saying? And all they do is use us as figureheads. So when I hear about the mental illness and about physical health in the penitentiary, yes, it is true. It's shameful. But it's also shameful that we do not get the kind of support we need from our own community to protect us while we are in there. This poor woman is in, I hope I'm wrong, in the last phases of her life. What are we really doing to help her? What kind of compassion are we showing her? Other than the people I see on this video, nothing.
Yes.
They're not offering any solution. It's just we did a medical commentation and they denied her, so we're trying to do another one. I mean, there's nothing else that she could give the state.
Right.
So let's go back to the state, right?
Yeah.
Approximately 45% of the prison population is over 40 years old, and approximately 25% is 50 years old or older. Medically frail is a designation reserved for mostly ill, primarily elderly people with advanced dementia, Alzheimer's, or people with late-stage cancer, right? This is Gretchen Whitmore. So BH4129 allows medically frail prisoners to be paroled to receive medical attention, but it does not extend parole to prisoners convicted of first-degree criminal sexual assault conduct or any crime punishable by life without parole. Unbelievable. So when you look at the numbers,
Unbelievable.
it's estimated that 450 to 500 people may be eligible, right? But because of the way they worded it, it's only 20 to 30 people who will be eligible for parole.
Wow.
Right? I haven't seen one person. I've been searching and searching. I haven't seen her commute. Now, I do know that people did get out early for COVID, right? But I didn't see where the governor herself has pardoned anyone yet.
Not one.
I guess that was kind of sort of like it. But let me tell you ladies something, because I see all you strong, beautiful Black ladies on the panel, including my wife. The men is in trouble too. And we got a lot of hate, and we got a lot of destruction, and we got a lot of, like, we ain't that no more. And that's where some of the problem is, whether we can see it or not. Because the men aren't the leaders anymore, and they're not stepping up the way they have. And 9 times out of 10, if they do, you strong women on the panel will go say, "Go sit down." No disrespect, but when you come to something is war. Like you ain't gonna have no more. You're gonna do what it takes to do what it do, and then that's where the men come in now. Because our mothers, they ain't supposed to go to war. Unfortunately, y'all been forced in the war. But no, to support the black man and the black community and these men is mental health out here to try to help bring them back, sisters, because that's what your help gonna be at. You're gonna need that help. You know, and I don't see the men out no more. When I go to the rallies, and it be a speckle of them, but it be you queens. When this happened, it be a speckle, and it ain't just all they fault. It's because you just ain't it no more. Some way we gotta find a way to make man it again, especially the young men that we having out here. That's why they all on the corner and at the store and all this. Like they figure they ain't gonna listen to you queens that's paying the bills. They need that father figure in their life. They need a strong man. They need some base behind it and some physicalness. You hear me?
Yes.
I'm telling you, this is where 50% of our problem is coming as blacks.
And we don't support each other.
That we don't
100%.
support each other. The kids don't care about this. It's terrible. We gotta really go backwards to go forward because we gotta change some things and some way of thinking.
Right. Some of us been so programmed to believe it's hard for them to believe your story. You know, when you start telling people these things or atrocities that's happening because it's not happening to them, you know, a lot of people just turn it off or, oh, well, you know, but it can easily. Right.
I would think, now this ain't a man that's going through this. I would think that the way society run now and what's going on, it would be more women stepping up, even saying, hold up. Because this is what we living in the Queen's world now. And y'all got to see, gracious to you. But I would think it would be more women coming up saying that. But really, I could see the women more divided in the situation. Like, it been some stuff going on, even in the same thing that I'm doing, trying to get my mom out. There's people battling and going through something that they going through when it's supposed to be about her and the prisoners, not y'all.
Go ahead, Trisha.
I just was getting ready to pass the offering plate because, you know, the message has been delivered, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. You know, there's so many layers to it. And we say this all the time, it's nobody coming to save us, right? It's nobody coming to save us. We got to save ourselves.
Exactly.
We've got to get back to community. To be honest, I really feel like we got to get to a place we ain't never been.
Exactly.
We got to get to a place we ain't never been, because even in the places that we've been and when it was working in the civil rights movement, it was still stuff in that, you know, this pity pat, knick-knack, patty whack, give a dog a bone confusion that is so unnecessary, because we have one goal. We have one job, and that is to fight for justice anywhere and everywhere until we can tear these walls down. That's our assignment.
Mm-hmm.
All that other stuff is irrelevant. And we got to get back to the basics. The basics is love. Mm-hmm. Because when you love, you're going to fight for somebody like you would fight for yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem. People not fighting for folks like they fighting for them like they would fight for them. Mm-hmm. But when you fight for somebody like you would fight for yourself, you won't drop the ball. You won't throw in the towel. You'll keep going when you're tired. That's how you could show up for me. If you don't show up for me like that, then you could just go on and sit on the sideline. No thanks.
Exactly. Yes. Reverend Tia, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say that the reason why the percentages of people who are so much older, if she didn't put that clause in there, And those people knew, and the lawyers started to know, and people started to understand that those people who are in that age bracket, especially over 50, you've done 30 years, you went in as a child, you know, they would be coming out. They would be coming out. However, the corporation would lose money.
Mm-hmm.
See, at the end of the day, a corporation gets a per diem every day for that one prisoner who is doing time. That corporation gets a per diem. They make money. And so if you look at how many people would be released, the number would be, if you release 500 people, and I forgot how much, I'm gonna look it up in a minute, how much that per diem is. That's a lot of money. And so she puts the clause in there for what? When the person can't even defend themselves, when the person is already weak. And then knowing that every piece of data, every type of research states that once you go into prison, you are worse than when you first went in. You're worse on the way out. You have been traumatized even more. And so we got to admit that this system does not work. And so if you do hear of somebody going through this, don't give don't turn your head and turn off your ears and run. Because see, some people are so afraid of the truth. Like they say in the movie said, who's that? Nichols, whatever his name is. You can't handle the truth. Some people can't. Some people can't handle the truth. They don't want to recognize, they don't want to understand it, they don't want to see themselves in anybody else. But if I can look at you and see myself in you, if I am humble enough to know that it could be me,
Mm-hmm.
when I understand that it could be me, when I saw Jay and saw her pain, and I recognized that could be me. Oh, I'm a helper. I'm gonna help you. I don't even know what to do, but we're gonna find out. And if we get there, that's love. Why? Because love goes beyond all of the exterior, looks into the essence of that person and says, you and I are one. That's what we need to get to.
Mm-hmm.
When you understand that. As long as you keep comparing yourself with the Joneses and trying to run around here and be somebody who you're not, and as long as you continue to not know your history, not know who you are, you will continue to be caught up
Mm-hmm.
in the world of effects.
Exactly.
Okay, I've ranted enough.
Okay. Attorney Matt.
I'm so tired of the
Yeah,
NDOC.
I know. Me too. I'm past tired of them.
Come down. Got to come down.
Attorney Matt. So we got the Eighth Amendment, where it says that cruel and unusual punishment is against the Eighth Amendment. Would we say that's cruel and unusual punishment? Having somebody mold grow into a person's port, have them shackled to the bed with stage 4 cancer, can't lift their head. Attorney Matt, your mic is off. Is that
Yeah.
wouldn't that
Okay.
classify as cruel and unusual punishment?
The answer is no. You say,
Wow.
well, oh, why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? Well,
I
it
believe you,
goes
Matt.
back to your 13th Amendment,
Mhm.
the elimination of slavery.
Okay.
Okay. We all know the 13th Amendment eliminated slavery, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wrong.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Except upon conviction and punishment
Right.
for a crime.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So when I say in the eyes of these people, it is not cruel and unusual, because look at the conditions that African Americans endured during slavery. Okay, look at that. They had mold, they had rats, they had rape, they had hobbling, which is cutting somebody's foot off, by the way, so they can't escape. They had branding, like you would brand a friggin' steer. Okay, so what I'm saying is, in the mindset of these folks, when you have legalized slavery, because really, I hate to bust y'all bubble if you don't believe me, but incarceration, that is a form of legalized slavery. Yes, it is. It's involuntary servitude. Yes, it is. And so what I'm saying is, once you have people who bought into that mindset, when you have like chattel slavery, which is what was eliminated. Chattel slavery is like owning somebody like you do a goat, or something like that. Chattel slavery may have been eliminated, but not invidious slavery, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The slavery that comes with locking somebody up. So when you take away somebody's medical needs, when you let mold grow in their cell, when you let them not get proper medical attention, to understand where these people are coming from, look back to how they did slaves.
Mm-hmm.
So having mold and having worse, that's right, having mold in somebody's cell, or slaves didn't have wood on the floor. They had dirt floors. Okay, the house Negroes were the ones that got the wood. Okay, the wood on the floors, or maybe living up in the attic or the master's basement. But the field Negroes, and those are all the people in the penitentiary, by the way, those are the field Negroes. They don't get that. They don't get that benefit. So, yes, J. Love, from a humanitarian point of view, it absolutely is cruel and unusual punishment. But from a legal point of view, once they realize slavery has been legitimized for incarceration, in their eyes, no, it's not. No, it's not.
And that's the way it really is, huh?
Sickening.
Yeah.
I want you guys
And
to look.
JJ, I was going to say, I had somebody tell me one day, they said, well, Tia, it's just business.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's just business.
Wow. Hey, that's the same thing the Nazis said.
Okay. On that note, let's listen to Crystal, who's also in Huron Valley.
Hi, my name is Crystal Clark. My MA number is 435064. I'm in WHB, the Valley of Death. When I say this is the Valley of Death, it is. This is sad. Like, my life, I've been trying to deal with it for years. And for the last couple weeks, I have been getting bad. I walk around here with a smile on my face, but it's miserable. I'm just going through so much right now. I've been so sick. The Sergeant Price, thanks to him, he called healthcare yesterday, get me over there. The doctor who was over there, it was so sad. It's just so sad. My whole body is, like I say, I'm so big, I'm leaking fluid. I can barely breathe. My throat is full of nodules, whatever they say they is. They're getting bigger. My chronic cough, this place is really killing me. Like, we had another lady who passed. They covered up. We just found out that, but I will be getting the young lady name. I get over there. The doctor sees the stuff all caked up. It's all in my ear. The ear infection, the fungus in my ear gets running. She sees my face. I'm numb. I can't feel nothing on my right side of my face. My eyes, I'm losing my eyesight. Like, she looked at me like, oh, it's nothing wrong. You've been dealing with this for a long time. Oh, you can deal with it. Like, just deal with it. Just deal with it. I was looking at her. She's like, but today is my last day, so they have something planned for you. The warden, I have been talking to him. He just been telling me lies and lies about my health. Like, he's saying that I'm going to see somebody. I should have been went out. I can't even really do my test for my heart because they haven't sent me out. I have WPW. It's a heart condition. They supposed to be sending me out to take the little test for it. so I can get help on that. They haven't, none of my appointments, I haven't went out to the hospital, to the specialist. They covering this up. They covering everything up because they don't want people to know. But everybody is seeing it, and then they get mad because I reported, and then they hear me on here, and they come, somehow we heard. I don't even know how could even a staff or officer or the warden or the nurses, anybody can get mad when they hear me, when they know it's the truth. Like, if it don't fit you, don't worry about it. If it's not you doing it, why are you so angry and y'all want to toot y'all nose up at me and do this when y'all know I'm messed up in here? Y'all know this place that took me down. Y'all, most of y'all admit. Like, you don't even look the same. I'm dying in here. Like, literally, like, it's killing me. Like, my body, when I lay down, you can just feel the stuff growing in my ear, my body, you can feel these knots. Like, when I walk now, I get this numbness, tingling. It's terrible, my whole body. Like, it's terrible. But for a doctor to sit up there and report that she don't see nothing, she like, oh, just give her some antibiotics. And I'm like, I've been on so many antibiotics. It's time to send me out. Why y'all send everybody else out? Why is y'all won't send me out? Ever since they found out I was allergic to the mold and it's been affecting me, they've been downplaying my health. They have been downplaying it. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm suffering. They have been downplaying a lot. Every time it comes to me, and I'm asking her, I said, you're supposed to be a doctor. Like, she was asking me what I want her to do. I said, I want you to help me. And if you can't, send me out. Like, send me out. I'm on so much medicine. Nothing is working. It just get worse and worse. I want to make it out of here to see my kids. There's so many of us dying here, and then it's just being covered up, and nobody didn't even talk about it. It go on, you die one day, and then it's over with. Like, this is not right. Like, I've talked to everybody that has been lying to me. I need to get to the hospital. Like, I'm tired of laying in this bed. I'm tired of walking around here with a smile on my face and in pain. Like, you gotta be saying, like, nothing is wrong. I'm sick of this. Like, I won't back to being me, Crystal. I am not me. I haven't been me in a long time. Like, I'm ready to be back me. At least, let's make the start. Y'all send me out. Like, let's do one step at a time. They're not even trying to do that. The nurse, McIntyre, whatever, I think that's her name. The way how she treat me, I thought she cared about us. The way how she do it, I'm looking at her like, you've been knowing my situation. Won't you let the doctor know? Oh, I don't see nothing either.
These commentaries are recorded by Prison Radio.
So that was September the 27th. Crystal made that recording on Prison Radio almost about a month ago. So I don't know if Crystal is still with us, but these are the stories from Michigan, Huron Valley. But this is happening all over the United States, and it's going to take us to make this change happen. These people are making millions. Michigan alone, 590 million, right? They have 18 other states that this company serves. Then not only in the United States, they have contracts with the federal prisons and also in Australia and the UK. So they're making billions and billions of dollars while people die.
J-Lo, can I say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead, Tony Mac.
See, part of the problem is, and like I say, y'all may wonder why I focus on us so much, and I know we didn't start all of this, but really, you know, our own apathy, J-Love, frankly, is a big contributor to why this continues. And I'm gonna say this, you know, when we decide we really want to do something, we can do it. Okay, we can do it. You know, I mean, you know, I remember growing up, you know, and you know, I wanted to get a particular pair of tennis shoes. You know what I'm saying? My mother would tell me, well, if you want it, you got to work for that. You got to be able to sacrifice something to get something you want. Boy, I'm not spending all my money from St. Joe buying you no shoes, especially these kind of shoes. So what I'm saying is, we as a people, for some reason, and I know y'all probably get tired of me saying this. For some reason, we have such a hard time understanding what people are telling us to our face, to our very face. And what I'm telling you is, when I see people, black people, I've got some people I know in Georgia that's saying, yeah, well, I'm down with Herschel Walker. You know what I'm saying? And this man has told us to our faces, Donald Trump is my friend. There ain't nothing wrong with that man. So it's okay for that man to refer to black athletes as sons of bitches. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Okay. So if you refer to me as a male as a son of a bitch, what are you saying about my mama? Okay. See. So what I'm saying is, but yet we continue to buy into a narrative by people who cannot stand us. Okay, under the guise of, well, I'm law and order. I'm for people having to pay their own way and not, be dependent on nobody else. Hell, you dependent on me for your public roads. You dependent on me for your fire and water. You ain't paying for that by yourself. You dependent on me for your schools. You depend on me for the airways. You ain't paying for that by yourself. Okay. So what I'm saying is, I hope that people who listen to this, black people, please start loving yourself more than you love other people. Please, please. Before my head explodes in this car. Please. Because J Love, when we sit back, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna stop. J Love, I fully support a woman's right to choose and autonomy over her body. That's between her God, and her doctor. But J Love, on the 24th of June, that Dobbs decision came down, okay, from the Supreme Court. Do you know within a 2-month period, they had over 750,000 signatures to put that proposal 3 on the ballot on Constitutional Amendment?
Yes,
they had
did.
more people sign up to put that in front of the people, Constitutional Amendment, than any other amendment ever in the history of the state of Michigan. Any other referendum, you say, well, Attorney Mack, what's that got to do with anything? It has everything to do with it. We struggled so hard to try to get laws that would allow the restoration of good time and disciplinary credits, okay? Struggled so hard for over a year to do that. Couldn't do it, J Love. Couldn't do it. But yet, and I'm sorry, I hate to bring race into this. I do hate to bring race into this. But when the majority culture decide, particularly women, I'll be honest, particularly white women, decide that it's something that is threatening them or their autonomy, they damn sure hurried up and got 10 times as many signatures as they needed. 10 times as many signatures they needed to put that. And I'm going to tell you what, Proposal 3 will pass at a rate that has never been seen in the history of the state of Michigan before, because those women realize, oh, no. You're not just messing with some hood rat, you know what I'm saying, some dope head or some crackhead from the wrong side of the tracks. You messing with me and my body now, and I'm not going to let you do that. So, people will mobilize for what they feel like mobilizing in J Love. And I'm calling out all them people, all the whites and blacks, the liberals, the progressives, the universalists, the kumbaya folks. You can get together to protect a woman's autonomy, but you will not do anything about your own brothers and sisters that are languishing and dying within the penitentiary when you easily could.
You just preached. You just said a word, Attorney Matt. You're right. We jump on everybody bandwagon, but we can't organize them or get them to join ours.
That's exactly right, J Love. That's right.
And so
the pick and choose movement.
Yes.
That's right. Yes. The gays, the lesbian, and like I said, I love everybody. Don't get me wrong. The gays, the lesbian, the transgender, I'm sorry, I don't even know what all the letters mean. I love everybody, but you notice these folks will get together and have us be on their bandwagon to protect them. The Chinese and the Asians, we get on their bandwagon to protect them. The Arabs and the Muslims, we get on their bandwagon to protect them. When are people going to get on our bandwagon to help us?
Yes. Right. Exactly. Go ahead, Rabbitia. I see you.
Girl, I'm trying to recover. I'm telling you, I have so much here. I just reminded that we gotta really watch our gates and what's coming in our eyes. I need people to
Mm-hmm.
become more critical in their thinking and to know what is it that you're really believing. Because so we just go with whatever narrative flies across the screen, whatever comes in the form of social media, whatever is being mediated to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, instead of really researching it out, what's really behind this, what's really going on. And then the other thing is, make some other decisions. And where's the ethical guidelines in your own family? We lifted those. It's a time when I was young. My grandmother, you better not try to be like somebody else. Better not try it.
Mm-hmm.
Better not try to go out and just buy things just so you can fit in.
Yes.
That's right.
And don't try to make your hair a certain way just because you want to, because when I was little, we didn't wear naturals. People weren't really proud of wearing a natural all the time. And so they would, and if they didn't have they would pretend and put on a towel around their head to flip their hair around because they didn't know or like who they were.
Right.
What are we teaching?
Right.
What are we teaching? My grandmother wish she would catch you, even when I did get it. My hair was long, but if you got it pressed out, you better not flip it. You better you better not flip it one time here. Flip it one time. You can flip it one time, it'd be the last flip.
Right.
So because there was a guideline of respect and an honor, and she went through the history. You knew
Mm-hmm.
who you were.
Exactly.
And the problem is because we don't know who we are, we got sold. Not only did we get sold into slavery and sold a new narrative, we got sold
Yes.
that we weren't intelligent enough. When in
Mm-hmm.
actuality, our ancestors were the founder of everything.
Right.
You
That's right.
name it, we found
That's
it.
right.
That's
That's
right.
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 That's
And when
right.
you loving yourself so much, then you understand how much you're worthy of
Yeah,
good treatment.
Right.
exactly.
You're worthy. You it's not okay for somebody to shoot you in the head or shoot you
That's
38
right.
Mm,
times in the middle of the street. That's when you
that's
love
That's
right.
right.
yourself a lot. When you
That's
That's
love
right.
right.
your own self a lot. That you
Right.
can love somebody else that much. You know,
Yes.
I hurt or I feel the pain of the injustice because I love me, I love you. And what happens to you can happen to me. What is that saying? Um, when it came from me, you didn't say anything.
Oh yeah,
When it
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Right, right, right,
and
Mhm.
so now they're coming for you
right,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you didn't say anything.
right.
So we have to start saying anything. We have to move ourselves into action. However,
And
that
take your
move,
family back.
right? Take your family, your power.
Take your family back. You heard her when she said she's been given so many antibiotics. People, learn the body.
Hmm.
Learn your body. The body all by itself is a miracle.
Hmm.
It's a miracle wonder, but we destroy it.
Hmm.
We destroy our bodies by what we put in it. And so we need to take our bodies back, take our mind, same thing. Talk about a detox. We need to detox our body. We need to
And
detox
our
our
mind.
mind. We need to detox our environment. We need to
Hmm.
detox from people. We need to detox and get rid of the toxic things that are around us. And when you do that, oh, you may lose a couple of friends, but
Right.
you're gonna have peace.
Exactly.
I tell you, I felt because what people don't realize when she said the pus running out, but you have to know research
Hmm.
and medical science proves that all of that toxic stuff going in the body, even though it can be under the guise of medicine, attacks the liver.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you attack the liver, the pus and the mucus increases in the body because the body wants to protect the vital organs.
Right.
But it can only do that for just a short amount of
Of time. That inflammation, that's what kills.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
kills.
Got to get rid of the
And
mucus.
and
That's
can
right.
I say this from professional and personal experience also?
Yes.
You know, they've got a grievance process within the Mission Department of Corrections. It's a 3-step grievance process. Okay, you know, it starts local, like at the prison, to like the warden, and then some mid-level administrator, and then ultimately the director. Okay, fundamentally that's how it goes. So, but when you file a grievance, there's retaliation for that. Okay, there's retaliation because, for example, in the healthcare field, at a prison, I say for personal experience, they don't like you effing with them at all. Excuse my language. At all. You know, I had a tooth problem where I wanted to have some work done. I just said, look, you got a fundamental choice. We're putting this little temporary filling in there, or we're gonna pull it. You know, skip all that specialized stuff you need. We don't care if you got insurance you say could pay. You got two options, and don't file no more grievances. I said, wow, really? Wow. So what I'm saying is, it's almost like a triage. You know what I'm saying? When you're in a penitentiary, you're not supposed to be on a battlefield. That's not a battlefield. You know, when you go to the doctor, and I've seen it so many times, J Love, and my sisters here, that they act like it's like a mass unit. Sew you up, fix you up, give you some pills, and get your ass back to the front line. Excuse me. But that's exactly what they do. That's what they do. So I'm telling you, when you file a grievance, 99% of the time, it's going to be denied. They're going to say, our staff has acted appropriately. Your symptoms were not that serious, and that's it. Okay, so now they got a record. You filed a grievance. They say, well, no, I'm not going to be treated like this. I'm going to go to step 2. Okay, well, you can go to step 2, and now you're really getting attention now. Okay, the ward. Oh, Gerard. He must be one of them troublemakers. One of them troublemakers. We got a cure for him, or Hugo, or whatever. And if you dare go to the director, where you kind of trying to bring attention back to that facility, I tell people all the time, them people transfer me so much, it was called diesel therapy. Diesel therapy. They would transfer me so much to retaliate. I used to come in and expect to have to pack up. So what I'm saying is, it breaks my heart with that sister with that medical condition, because they have made a determination. It is better to deal with any legal consequences of doing nothing for her than put out the money and the expense to try to get that sister the help she needs.
Right.
That is the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're right. You're okay. I know. I want to agree with you. You're right, because even through my own experience with Gerard, if they're giving you an aspirin, they're giving you attention. If they're doing if they give you a Band-Aid, they're doing their job. So you can't say they're not doing their job. I gave you an aspirin. I gave you a Band-Aid.
That's right.
I gave you medical attention.
That's right.
So all these things. So all of these things we still need to focus on. The main thing is utilizing our vote. And Attorney Mack, this all has to do with it, because when you have the governor who ran on reform, that was her platform, and she did all these things. She had the local jails reform, and then she authorized this bill for the medically frail, but she didn't follow through. Right. So now we're talking about, voting. And I want to talk about that because you brought it to my attention about what's going on in Florida. And so
terrible. Yeah.
I want you, I have a video. Let's see if I could get it on here. Play this video right quick. And then Attorney Mack, when it goes off, I'm going to leave it to you.
All right.
All right. Just 1 second. Let me get it. Just 1 second, everyone.
No worries. I appreciate you.
Uh-oh. Wrong screen. Hold on, people.
It's okay, because I know not what to do. Somebody got to do it.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to. Oh, here we go. I got it.
We good.
A 2018 amendment restored the right to vote for many felons in Florida, but new video is raising questions, showing people with felony convictions being arrested by Governor Ron DeSantis' new Office of Election Crimes and Security. Take a look.
Apparently, I guess you have a warrant?
For what?
I'm not sure.
How is y'all doing this now and this happened years ago?
I don't know. I have no idea, man.
This is crazy, man.
We're joined now by Neil Wolz, Deputy Director of the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. Neil, thank you so much for joining us. Many felons have their voting rights restored when they come out of prison, but for some, it's a process. Can you explain what the process is?
Yeah, you're right. When Amendment 4 passed, restored voting rights for 1.4 million people in the state of Florida. However, in order to be eligible, you have to complete your sentence. And for many people, that includes paying restitution, paying fines and fees, and therefore it becomes a much more complicated matter.
And what do you think of Governor's Election Crimes and Security Office, which is identifying these cases?
Yeah, I got to tell you, I mean, I was watching that video, and I think that video does a very good job of putting the human face on a broken system, a system that's gotten worse by deciding to criminalize voting. We have a voting system that cannot verify eligibility for everybody on the front end of the process. So people are getting their voter ID cards and then years later are being arrested.
And a lot of them, it seems like it's coming as a surprise. They have no idea that they've done anything to break the law in these scenarios. The Tampa Bay Times reports one woman arrested, registered once, and then updated her address and completed another registration form and was given a voter registration card on both occasions. A man said that someone at the DMV told him to register. Do you think that the state holds any responsibility? In some cases, it seems like it's a matter of confusion.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the state is responsible for voter verification and the management of the voter rolls. If you can't count on the state to verify your voting eligibility, who can you count on? As you mentioned, you see people from all over the state, people who have talked to government officials, have gotten voter ID cards from the government, and they are making the assumption that they are eligible to vote. You think about going into the DMV, you know, say I'm a 13-year-old, I go into the DMV and I ask for a driver's license, they give me a driver's license, and then arrest me 3 years later. None of us would stand for that.
We recently saw a rash of about 20 people who were reportedly arrested. If convicted, they face up to 5 years in prison. Do you think that there's a chance that some of them might have to actually serve some time for trying to vote?
Well, what we're seeing is a mixing of legal standards. There's a legal standard to remove somebody from the election rolls, and that includes the basic presumption of the facts. And then you have a much higher standard to prove somebody was committing fraud, and that's to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. It's one of our constitutional rights. And we know that that's a higher burden for the government to meet.
I mean, I think it has to be said that if you look at all the videos, it looks like the majority, if not all of the people who are being arrested are Black. Does race and party lines happen to play a role here, do you think?
Yeah, I got to say, as somebody with a felony conviction myself, I'm always sensitive about trying to label actions or understand people's intent. So I can't necessarily go there, but I can definitely tell you that there's an impact in our community. And to your question about the impact of race, we know that the criminal justice system in our country disproportionately impacts African Americans, and we're seeing that play out here. At exactly the same time, the 1.4 million people in Florida impacted by Amendment 4 are people from all walks of life. all over the state. They're Republicans, Independents, Democrats, and we know that these issues are much bigger than partisanship, much bigger than one election or one office holder. This is about really sacred stuff here in our democracy and our republic.
What do you think is the solution here to preventing more arrests?
Well, we think that what we should do is what other states do, which is have a voter verification system that's automated on the front end. I'm a returning citizen. I'm somebody with a past conviction. If I were to go apply for food stamps or some sort of government services, you bet that they can determine my eligibility quickly on the front end, and then everything proceeds from there. People should be able to get assurances on the front end so that there is no confusion as people move forward, let alone arrests in our communities and across our state. It's very, very troubling when we see Florida citizens getting arrested for voting.
Seems like a simple solution there. Neil Voles, we thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate you coming on the show.
So, Attorney Matt, the governor made a special police force for this to arrest these people.
That's right. That's right. That's right. See, you know, J Love, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Okay. That is what this governor, I hope that man is never elected president, by the way. You know, if I was back in my Boy Scout days, I wouldn't elect him president or guard the latrine if it was me. Okay. So what I'm saying, I know y'all think I'm wrong. I know you think I'm wrong, but what I'm saying is that the problem, J Love, not only starts with the governor, the problem starts with the law itself. Because you notice there are always exceptions to anything good that is tried to happen. There's always some kind of an exception they build in to have a hook on people. Now, what they didn't tell you in that video was if a person has got like a CSC or a murder conviction, stuff like that, you can't register at all, okay? But yet and still, even with those other restrictions there, they're giving people voter ID information and credentials, okay? So what's happened is, I think Ron DeSantis, he may be many things, but ignorant he's not. He realizes, first of all, he wasn't supporting that amendment to give them people the opportunity to vote, by the way, okay? He wasn't down with that. Miraculously, though, it got enough support, I don't know how, to pass and be able to override his veto should he veto it. So what he says is, okay, they passed this law. I'm going to use my executive authority. I'm creating a special board, a commission, a fraud integrity board. And he did that just to target these people, J Love. Don't be confused about that, and Tia. Specifically to target these people. He knew good and damn well that there are going to be people out there that are released, don't really read the law. They know some general things about it, don't really read the law, going to get on those voter registration rolls, and he's going to use them to say, see, we need stricter voting laws because these pickaninnies out here are voting, and this is exactly what Donald Trump was talking about, voter fraud. So I guarantee you, if somehow Ron DeSantis would lose a campaign for governor, one of the main things is it was stolen because these pickaninnies are allowed to vote, and that's why I clamped down on them.
So I watched a few videos. So when this happened 3 years ago, people were celebrating it, right?
Yeah.
So within the last year, DeSantis came up with this. He made this little police force, whatever, for strictly for this, right?
Right.
People who work for the state were telling people that they could vote. People who were signing people up were telling people they can vote. Even they were asking, "Are you sure I can vote?" Yeah, you can vote. You can vote.
Right.
And so, and then now, 3 years later, they're arresting people because that base. They believe that, there's voter fraud. So
I'm sorry, J Love. I apologize.
No, you good, Tony Matt. I'm just gonna say, who's the most looked at, the most vulnerable?
Right, and J Love, another, and Tia, and Trishay, one of the other invidious aspects of this. First of all, if you're coming out of the penitentiary, you already got a record. You got a record, okay? Now this is another felony. You've all heard of supplemental informations. You know what they are. You know what they are. So now with this, think about them people coming out the penitentiary, finally paid their debt, got parole or what have you, or maxed out, and now the prosecutor has got that bargaining chip. Look, you either go on and plead to this, or else if you don't plead to this, we're going to charge you anyway, and we're going to supplement you. It's because you already got a conviction for, I don't know, B&E or selling drugs or stealing cars. So we're going to put not only the maximum time is in there, we're going to add half of that to it. That is a lot of pressure, J Love. That's a lot of pressure. That can make an innocent man or woman plead guilty.
Right. And so now, I was watching these videos and they're saying, it's almost election time. So people who have felonies, they're watching this, right?
Right.
They're not going to go vote.
Right.
And they're counting on that.
Scared,
Right.
Yeah. No. You're right. You're right, Jay. You're right.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rabatia.
I would like to see a mass exodus out of Florida. I really would. Just a mass exodus. Just get the hell up out of there. Because you give them more votes just because you stay there. Get up out of there. Get up out of there. Because they criminalize poverty, they criminalize brown and black people, and it's just, at some point you would think that the intellect would have grown in the area of humanity, and they have not evolved in the mind of having a humanistic view for all people, especially civic service people that we vote into office to serve.
All right.
That's right. That's right.
Obviously, there is something in their mental faculty that is retarded when it comes to humanity.
Right.
They can't think about humanity. They can't think on the oneness of people. I don't care who the person is. And because they can't do it, they are not even qualified to serve. And now the people you saw the people they were like,
yeah,
grandma and them, people weren't even doing anything. And look at the conditions that some of the people that they were locking up. So they continue to make money on these people. Get up out of there.
Right.
You're right. Call my cousins now. Leave. Don't ask me to come visit. I'm not coming. I'm not going to Disney now. Don't ask me.
Go ahead, Trisha.
Say, forget Disney, doggone, and them kids. You know what? This is an assault on humanity. And anybody that sees it as anything less than that, you're a part of the problem. Everybody understands how important voting is. That's the one part. I told somebody last week, we got two sets of powers. We already know the first power. Money is the power. Okay. But the only other form of power that we have is our vote. And they would take that and then turn around and try to put people in prison. It's the
5 years
of evil. I don't think we're understanding how spiritually evil and demonic racism really is. Yes, you have to battle it in the natural form and in the natural realm, but you also have to attack it in the spiritual realm because it is evil and it is ugly. And unless we attack this thing in all different kind of forms, see, everybody think that they part is the right way. But unless we attack it in many different forms, these walls ain't going to come down. We've got to come at it from every angle around the base of that mountain, that demon, and tear it down. But it's going to take all different kind of ways to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we don't have respect enough for each other to allow that. But those of us who do, we will stand in the trenches until people wake up.
That's right. That's right. Amen.
Amen.
That's right. Hey, look, and like I said, like T and I'm saying, skip Mickey Mouse. Skip Mickey Mouse. Hey, Mickey Mouse ain't nothing but a rat with a smile. Let me tell you that right now. He don't love black people. He don't love black people. He got all his kinfolk all up in our apartments, all up in Brooklyn, Harlem. I heard the mayor of New York talking about they declaring war on rats. Okay, that's good. That's good. Hey, I tell you what, you better hope Trump and them don't give us some bitches right to vote because you out of there, Mayor. You out of there. so that's right, Tia. Mass exodus. Let's have another exodus. You know, hey, let's seance Charlton Heston. You know, bring him back. You know, get all the black people out of Florida. They don't love you. They don't love you. But that's right, because look, this man is insane. Do you hear me? That governor is insane. The man is insane. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so I just, and you know, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't mean to preach, but I'm just saying this. And he's not, the part that gets me, he's not even hiding it. Not at all. Not at all. He's letting you know, all you mud people, I don't care about y'all. I got the votes. Y'all ain't got enough to overcome me. I'm going to get in the office, which unfortunately I hate to say, I think he will. I'm pulling for Val Demings against Marco Rubio, but you know, well, Tia, let the black people stay long enough to vote for Val Demings. They get the hell out. Do that. So, but
right.
no,
Why do you stay when you're not wanted? You know what I'm saying?
You know, but I know. I mean, I know. So yeah, but I just had to say something about. I just had to say something about Disneyland. I did. You know, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. They ain't got no black dwarfs up in there. You know, and all that. You know, Cinderella. Ain't no black people up in there. You know, Cinderella. You know, all that. You know, all that stuff they got up in there. You know, so it's just wrong. You know, and for Walt Disney, he didn't love no black people. No way. Out in California with Disneyland, they had a restrictive covenant. No Negroes here at all. None. We're going to shut it down. It's true. Don't take my word for it. Google it yourself. So he didn't love no black people. He didn't love no black people. Talking about going to Disneyland. To hell with Disneyland, you know.
And you know what, Attorney Matt? They showed where the kids, they was out there, wasn't at Disneyland, where the characters wouldn't even shake their hands. They were skipping over the black kids and stuff. I'm like, well, that's traumatic. I wouldn't be taking my baby somewhere and they be treating them in that kind of fashion. Their babies don't understand.
Look, J Love. Look. Excuse me for being street. I'm sorry. See what Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse and Olive Oil and them need. They need baby kids up in there to tear their asses up one good time. See, that's what they need. See,
my twins wouldn't have did it. My twins would have had a different skill on that. My boys would. Hey, all of them would have got kicked or something bypassing them. They'd have got kicked on TV. Right there on the cameras. They would have. All of them would. I wish you would try to bypass my child. They would have got kicked by the child.
First, the people was, the first video that came out, people was like, maybe they. Then a flood of videos started coming where they was really missing the black little babies,
black people stop going to Disney and to Disney World.
Right.
If we stop spending our money, then all of a sudden they start loving you again because
they'll be hugging babies.
The people up under that little outfit, they get paid because you came.
Right.
Hold your money.
That's right. And J Love, I don't mean to be too base here. But but we all family talking amongst ourselves. See, if they think that negative about us, I wish we get a bunch of black kids in there and be every negative thing they say. You know, they been got, you know, Mickey Mouse got him on crack, you know, turned out Minnie Mouse, got her working the streets. You know, Olive Oil and Popeye and them, you know, got them on the welfare, pimping their money. Look here, I'm just saying, if they want to think bad about us, I say tear it up, J Love. Just tear it up. That's what I say.
I say find somewhere else to go.
That's right.
That's right. That's
Find
right.
somewhere else to go.
Right.
Don't
Yeah,
spend
well,
your
tear it up.
money.
Right.
Because
Tear
those
it up
places
before
are
you leave.
expensive. People pay $2,000 and $3,000
Yeah,
to take their
yeah,
kids there.
yeah. And by the way, one small legal fact a lot of people don't know, Disneyland or Disney World, whatever that is down in Florida right there, they get special benefits from the government by being a separate, almost like a city themselves,
Right,
okay?
right.
You know, and so, you know, your tax dollars, when you go there and you pay all them fees, you subsidizing them people, J-Love.
Yeah.
You're subsidizing them, okay, whether you know it or not. And by the way, wasn't it Disney, the Disney World, whatever it is in Florida, where a little white kid got eaten up by that alligator? Y'all probably don't remember that. It wasn't a black kid. I guess alligators don't like dark meat. I didn't know what it was. But anyway, little white kid. And then they had all the people up there, all the animal rights people in there. People didn't look like us, by the way. Well, the alligator by nature, and it was wrong and all that kind of stuff. But I tell you what, had it been little Rashida or little Kwame or Beulah up in there, you wouldn't heard a damn thing about none of that. You said, well, there's being time at the zoo.
Or they would have said how you shouldn't have been over there, or
Right.
shouldn't have been over. He shouldn't have been having his hand in
right.
there. It would have been an excuse.
That's right.
So yeah, so we have to pay attention to all these things when people are asking for our vote. You know,
That's right. That's
they're
right.
you know they're made a whole police force for to arrest these people. I saw him, the governor. He was saying, "See, yes, they they're committing crimes. They know they're not supposed to vote." Where each person that they showed who was getting arrested was just as shocked, like, "What are you talking about?"
That's right. That's right.
I seen this one video where even a white man was like, he was a felon. I think he was saying that he got arrested for voting. And he was like, he said, I never thought about killing myself, but now I do because I voted. I could go. I don't want to go back to prison. I would kill myself first.
Wow.
So, while he's bragging on himself because of that base who feels like, there was so much fraud and these 20 people out of the thousands of millions of people that live there, they feel like they're, coming up with this, see, it's really fraud out here. But, no, your employees even told these people they couldn't vote.
That's right.
So it's just like, some of the viewers said in the feeds, terrorism. Larry said that this terrorism and Prison Nation said it's a scare tactic. All of these things, yes, they are, because this election is coming up and they want to figure out how to keep you at home.
Right.
To silence you, because your vote is your voice.
Right.
That's right.
And they want to continue to silence.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
So, you guys, that's it for the day. Oh, before we leave, Trisha popped off, but I want to make sure you guys, next Saturday is the, where is it? Next Saturday is the summit, the Wrongful Conviction Summit is at Washtenaw Community College. Please register. I would put the link in the feed later on this evening so you guys can register. But if not, you can go to Survivors Speak on Facebook, and there is a link. If you follow me, I have it posted. There is a link where you can click on that link and you can register for the summit. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be full of information and educational. Come and join us. Revertia, you're going to be there. Attorney Oliver will be there.
Yes, we'll be there.
So you can meet us in person. We can have conversation. Please come, you guys. Register. This is a free event. This is our 3rd annual summit. So join us next Saturday. It starts at 12 noon. Operation Accountability. There are going to be some of the honorees there. So please join us next Saturday, 12 noon, Washtenaw Community College for the 2022 Wrongful Conviction Summit. And is that it for today? I'm gonna put on these last few comments, and that's it. So thank you guys for joining us. Please share if you would like to join us on turning a moment into a movement. If you have a topic that you want us to discuss, just hit us up. Send me an email. Right, Attorney Mac?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Look here. You know, Hugo Mac always got your back, J Love and Tim.
That's right.
You know, you always got your back. You know, hey, they can reach me. You know, my clients are out from 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. Monday through Friday. Okay, and from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Okay, Saturday and Sunday. Excuse me.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
I'm extremely accessible.
Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Jay. All righty.
Bye-bye.
All right, Reverend Jay. God bless you.